August 2025. For the 7th time, I stand on the Furka Pass, one of the highest alpine roads. The air is crisp, carrying the scent of rock and melting snow. But this is no longer a simple tourist visit. It is the chronicle of a dying giant, the Rhône Glacier. Each return feels like reading another, sadder chapter of the same story. 100 years ago, the Rhône Glacier was Switzerland's pride. The Hotel Belvedere, built in 1882, was a symbol of alpine luxury. From its terrace, guests could almost touch the glacier's tongue. That's how far it reached into the valley. Old photographs show elegant ladies and gentlemen posing against a monumental wall of blue ice. Today, the hotel stands like an abandoned witness to the past, looking out over an empty valley where the glacier once flowed. The ice has retreated more than a kilometer. This place is also part of popular culture. On these serpentines, James Bond once chased Goldfinger in his Aston Martin. Scenes of speed and bravado became immortalized in cinema. But today, the very same curve is no longer a symbol of courage. It has become a viewpoint for climate catastrophe. Cinema froze the image in time, while reality slips further and further away. The biggest magnet of this place still exists, the ice grotto. But even it is changing dramatically. A decade ago, the entrance was right next to the parking lot. Today, you must walk hundreds of meters across suspended footbridges above an empty, stony valley. It feels like crossing a fresh scar in the landscape. The entrance, enormous white sheets cover the ice. It looks surreal, like a gigantic bandage on an open wound, a symbolic attempt to buy a few more years of life for a tourist attraction. Inside, the world shifts. Once you heard the gentle dripping of water, like the calm breath of nature. Now, it's the roar of torrents, cracks, groans, and thunder, as if the entire structure is crying out under the pressure of heat. These are not the sounds of eternity, they are the sounds of dying. Science only confirms what eyes and ears already tell us. Glamos, the Swiss Glacier Monitoring Network, reports numbers that leave no doubt. In just 2 years, 2022 to 2023, Swiss glaciers lost 10% of their volume. That's as much ice as melted over 3 entire decades in the 20th century. This is no longer a slow trend. It is an avalanche of acceleration. And what happens when ice disappears? It doesn't leave emptiness. New lakes form, held back by fragile moraines. They are water bombs, ready to burst at any time, rushing down valleys as waves of mud, rocks, and water. Scientists call this a glacial lake outburst flood. For a short time, rivers carry more water. Farmers and hydropower plants experience an illusion of abundance. Scientists call it peak water, but it is no gift. It is the liquidation of capital, the glacier itself. And once it's gone, only permanent deficit will remain. The valleys will feel it. The power plants will feel it. All of Europe will feel it. Because the Alps are not just a postcard. They are Europe's water tower. From here flow the continent's greatest rivers, including the Rhone. Without glaciers, the system breaks. The most insidious consequence is invisible. Without cold input from the ice, rivers warm at the pace of the air. For ecosystems, it is a thermal shock. Trout that have lived in alpine waters for centuries are dying. They are replaced by invasive species. A river may look full and yet be ecologically dead for its native inhabitants. The 7th encounter with the Rhône Glacier confirms one thing. It is no longer a tourist attraction. It has become a living laboratory, an open-air classroom on climate change. The Hotel Belvedere no longer gazes upon a majestic tongue of ice. It gazes at a grave. Every drip, every crack inside the grotto is not part of alpine atmosphere. It is the ticking of a clock, counting down time not only for this glacier, but for all of us. This requiem is no metaphor. It is the literal record of its agony. The question is, will we learn in time, but before the last drop flows away from the Alps? Because the silence that follows will not be the silence of peace. It will be the silence of an end.